Yeah, and this is such a nice Gantt diagram. Keep in mind, because this is very good functionality of SAP Business by Design, because this is typical what project planners like to use when they plan a project. Yeah, it reminds a little bit about what people are used in, for example, Microsoft Project. But yeah, it's much more better, of course, than Microsoft Project because you have much deeper functionality and better integration in all of these sales and financial and purchasing processes, obviously. But what I wanted to say is people, project managers are used to such a view. They like this view. And this is also why SAP Business by Design is liked in this area as a very good solution. So keep in mind when we compare this to SAP S4HANA later. So that is a big difference between SAP Business by Design and SAP S4HANA, because SAP Business by Design does not know that kind of work package type. Yeah, I would say this is an advantage of SAP S4HANA over SAP Business by Design, because you can mix different work package types in one project. And of course, not everybody knows everybody. Yeah. So if you have a project manager and he can browse this database of skilled resources, which are these consultants, and get informed about it. It is very valuable for companies which are bigger because they have more consultants. Whereas in a smaller company, a smaller consulting company, maybe it's easier, everybody knows everybody, and it is not so necessary to have this elaborated functionality of browsing in the skill or resource database, and thereby saving the margin so that it's again over the threshold. But the initiation of all of this process came from predictive analysis. So this is something where I would say SAP S4HANA has some advantage in conjunction with SAP Analytics Cloud. With that, we have compared the different project types between SAP Business by Design and S4HANA Cloud. Be aware, if there's a decision between the two systems, you have to take into account which project type you need for this customer or for yourself, and then you have to choose the right system for it. If you are not sure, obviously, let's have a look at your individual use case, and then we can decide based on our program, building your roadmap. Because to be open, it is always challenging for a new customer who wants to decide between SAP Business by Design and S4HANA Cloud to say, yeah, I need number 3 and number 4, and often is the customer doesn't even know what he needs or wants. Yeah, then he needs to be consulted based on process analysis. We've done this many times. We have done this process analysis to help the customer find out which of his business operations fit to which process type. And then after this, build your roadmap, consultation or advisory. It is possible for the customer to decide which project types he wants, which project types he needs, and then he can decide for the right system. And for that also it is very useful to use the SAP Signavio solution suite, which we always use in our projects. So, if you like this kind of content, don't miss our program on SAP Business by Design versus SAP S4HANA Compare the Facts. We will be using the most advanced tools and methods to compare these two extraordinary SAP ERP cloud solutions. It will consist of 7 live webinar sessions per 90 minutes within 7 weeks. The sessions start in February and the language is English. So, what will you learn? The key takeaways are mastering the cloud ERP comparison, understanding the differences and similarities, and plan a roadmap. So, find all the information how to join the program on our program landing page compare.adapro.info. Hope to see you there.